Boom, boom. Hello, world news. Tuesday, let's start with this. It's a Fed chart, but it's coming to us from PragCap, Cullen Roche. The QE3 conundrum and whether they will or they won't. And more information in at the weekend saying that they won't, but still, who knows? We're now nearing the end of QE2 and some concrete conclusions can be made. And this chart, for him, sums it up. It's a Fed chart, real gross domestic product. And when QE2 set sail, indicated there, real GDP was just over 3.2, and it's coming to an end now, and it's nearer 2.3. So if GDP, real GDP, increases was ever the Fed's point, they have missed the point. Bloomberg article about the United Kingdom. UK's Osborne faces Plan B deficit call from 52 economists. UK Chancellor of the Exchequer, George Osborne, the boy, was warned to adopt a Plan B, easing the pace of deficit reduction by 52 economists in a letter to the Observer newspaper. Oh, what to do when 52 economists tell you something. Later in the article we get Ed Balls, the amusingly named Treasury spokesman for the opposition Labour Party, said the letter supported his argument that confidence is down. And we're now seeing, week by week, more evidence that the economy is stalling. That's true enough. Data, released May 24th, showed Britain posted its largest budget shortfall for any April since monthly records began in 1993, as tax revenue fell and spending climbed. So the economists are saying keep the deficit large, don't reduce it too quickly. And in this paragraph, it was data released 24th showed Britain posted the largest budget shortfall for any April since monthly records began in 1993. Revenue fell, spending climbed. Revenue fell, spending climbed. And this is what they're saying. If you do the austerity thing, that will put people unemployed, and with civilized countries, automatic stabilizers kick in, whereby you have to give them things. Unemployment, this, that and the other, and you don't get their tax revenue because they're unemployed. Therefore, your tax revenue falls and your spending climbs. UK Foreign Secretary William Hague rejected the call. He said, the government strategy is endorsed by the IMF, the OECD and the G20, by all the major business organisations. If we wavered from that for a moment, the economic confidence would be reduced. The confidence of the financial markets would be very severely affected. So the boy has to take into account the markets as well. So many different interpretations. Moving on. A fatally flawed recovery plan. I'm putting this up more for the photograph than anything else. Greek back on the brink. Was it ever off the brink? But what do these people want? You can see the flag there, bottom right. What do they want, these Greek people? You know, they're not doing Nazi salutes there. They're putting their hands up for something else. They're saying that the European Union is a German Nazi operation. But what do they want? What can they possibly want, the people of Greece? Obviously less austerity. But is it based on a practical economic basis, or doesn't it matter? I don't know. If we listen to Richard Koo, a good PDF to read, link below. Number 4, revamping a Maastricht could save the Eurozone from double-dip recession, but it's not going to get revamped. And we read in yellow, Spain, Ireland, Portugal and the UK have embarked on fiscal consolidation in a bid to prevent a Greece-like crisis from unfolding in their own economies. If these countries push ahead with deficit reduction efforts, the Eurozone and the broader European economy is likely to undergo the same kind of double-dip recession that Japan experienced in 1997 and the US in 1937. History tells us that this is what will happen, but history tells us an awful lot of things, and you can interpret history many different ways. Personally, I think Richard Koo interprets history on this occasion accurately. So, Haig was talking about the IMF. They've just released their new instructions to Boy Chancellor in the UK and talk to him in IMF language. Try and stick with this, it's horrible, but there it is. Conversely, if the economy experiences a prolonged period of weak growth and high unemployment, that we can understand, and if inflationary pressures consequently ease, fiscal automatic stabilizers should operate freely, as the fiscal mandate is designed to allow, and the current monetary policy rate should be maintained for an extended period. Are you keeping up with this? I hope Treasury Boy is. In such a risk scenario, it will be important to ensure that the slowdown does not become entrenched due to capital scrapping and cyclical unemployment becoming structural. This is not the central scenario, but if this appears to be in prospect, then some combination of the following would be considered. Should be considered. I think that should be, because it's advice this is meant to be. Number 1, expanded asset purchases by the Bank of England. That's more QE. Temporary tax cuts. Tax cuts stretch deficits wider. It seems that no advice is pain-free or easy. Everything is very difficult. Business Insider gives us Citi. You should fear an imminent recession as much as you feared the rapture, meaning that you probably are wise and sensible and didn't really fear the rapture at all, so you should not fear an imminent recession at all either. This is mainly the United States, but it covers quite a lot because these sort of things are happening everywhere. This is the spotty red line. Is banks easing? In other words, banks are saying we are much more likely to give you loans now. And the black line is people going in and saying, yes, please, I would like loans. And as you can see in the past, what happened in history is if banks say you can have loans, people went in and said, I will take loans. So as long as that black line follows that red spotty line, uppity up, more people will be borrowing and there will be growth. And everybody will be happy. And everything will be wonderful. Except there will be more debts in the world. And somewhere along the line, these debts will have to be cleared. Or not. It's all too confusing. Isn't it? Bye.